Gender-based violence is one of the most common and widespread human rights violation across the globe. It's directed to either gender or sex. According to the United Nations World Health Organization study of 2021, 1 in 3 women worldwide has been subjected to some form of violence.
We have seen a horrifying global surge in domestic violence. In some countries, the number of women calling support services has doubled. Meanwhile, healthcare providers and police are overwhelmed and understaffed. Local support groups are paralyzed or short of funds. Some domestic violence shelters are closed, others are full.
Here in Uganda, a survey of 2020 conducted by United Nations found that 95% of women and girls had experienced physical or sexual violence after turning 15 years of age, where 29,494 cases of STIs were registered due to GBV. This undermines a person's sense of self-worth and self-esteem. And yes, it affects not only physical health, but also mental health, and may lead to self-harm, isolation, depression, suicidal attempts, among others. However, some of us, these are simply news stories, so imaginary, impossible, and so unreal. But for the victim and family members, this is for surely a matter of life and death. The recently tragic murder of Ugandan Olympian Rebecca Cheptegei and many other isolated deaths must serve as a wake-up call to intensify our efforts to end gender-based violence in the country.
Runi rugendo twatandiki rugendo ruhiaka baitu nuko twegombaga ngo rube rugendo ruhiaka kandi rubusenguki nanga mpingisya ekuisa go buke tineko.
And now, somewhere in a Ugandan village of Sara Chihombia in Bundubujo district, located in West Rwenzori bordering DRC, a 63-year-old woman, Kabonesa Anna, started experiencing unprecedented verbal violence from her polygamous husband, Kisembo Vincent, after staying together for 45 years as wife and husband.
Ngati mkona mubika nyimo ndanje nibwo nikolike sina kusalirwa ko ingurane nibo nankana chairman ulimo nigende ko bakoko nibo gwagendie ko mporera mukisakati na sibiko ko bakoko chairman na mwanogo nibo bagindi konchonayo.
Like any other well-nurtured old woman, mother of big girls and boys, Kabonesa chose to suffer in silence as a way to preserve the respect of her vulgar and drunkard husband. The situation started getting worse, especially as the man returns from a drinking spree, and this, in most cases, happens during cocoa harvesting season. Vincent reaches an extent of carving a portion of cocoa plantation, hands it over to the wife to cater for daily needs of the entire family, and retains a big chunk of the plantation to hire to cocoa buyers and spends the money on what he thinks matter to him.
Atene namanya nagira atene akantu akatuka kushobora kukola kunyamba nirina bwana basukuru batuna nanjene nina kusabwa kore tokungulira kakore abake no mfonote kitensa raro baje sakalia tonali
abandoning his responsibilities as family head, now Vincent violently demands for his conjugal rights. This mother of the nation, not sure of the health status of the husband, denies him the right. He gets back to the trading center and on return in the evening, totally drunk, hungry and angry, lays tough conditions on the earlier portioned part of cocoa plantation to cater for the family. Realizing that most villages in Bundibujo, women and children had experienced economic and physical violence, especially during cocoa harvesting season, Ourganda, a faith-based organization, decided to establish clubs of men and women of influence at village level known as Mankind and Soul Sisters to help quickly respond to any real-life possible outbreaks of violence in their respective areas. They offer rescue missions, psychosocial support, shelter, clothing, and even take care of the GBV victim at the health facility in case of any physical harm.
Obutabanguko bungi bukakubago nga kurwana mu maka munakiawe na nasi akubilikira mukiro bendaniye na baliwe atagubi kwisa kukubilikira kastaba akotevera simo atunololo waye tutwendaniye sindi hane na hane nawe tokukuba kumuka wenka nawo kukuba kotera simo ewa mugenji wawe nangali banja bafene nabo hayi na hayi asa kwiko wagambe no wainanka ololololololo ase tugende tuiko mukaruba mbali akobale dumbi tutontegeka na mbali akugenda kulala tutokuba dumbi kokoraki kugenda kwikaha nga polisi ba
nabakinka gwashimi kimwe Ourganda wisomkichweka ken dumbi bakadutirio mulemo enende obutabanguko bwo mamaka bukakeha enende abantu bali mu bushingi tibakyatale bana muno kintu kinka kishimira Ourganda kitongole kya Ourganda kusha kunkonyera omulemo abantu banje nende tebali kubi muno ba.
Ourganda's major concern at the beginning in 2018 was to extending health care services to hard-to-reach villages in Bundibujo district. However, during implementation of the project, staff members realized yet another deep-rooted social problem that most leaders had given up to, and that is domestic violence. 4 years down the road, enduring emotional and physical abuses amid his health concerns, this mother of the nation shares her ordeals with a village close friend who happens to be Ourganda's Soul Sister Club member. This woman encouraged Kabonesa to report the matter to police's Family Protection Unit through Ourganda. This friend further took Kabonesa to one of the community meetings organized by the group where they met Esther, the gender-based violence focal person. A case of threatening violence and abuse was registered, and Vincent was summoned by police to give a statement.
So bikabiri byokweri 13 kwe 11 mwaka n'obwoni Kabonesa ana kasakweterera nduru mu ofisi ene atali na butabanguko na baliwe na kumutinisirija so ne gwamusango gwa threatening violence, domestic violence with threatening violence ni kuto recording ka office. So ito tukamutegerera ana kasakweterera nduru betu tutwachiye mudhe and then tutime ibi ne majema Kabonesa ahikina nekeba. So nikikere kitoko office toto esi asimanisi kuberekera the other parte mugenjo wanyagara yono tole ebi Kabonesa kubuga na ya mulumije na yana koleki na yana leyo. So nikikere ki Mr. Himu toto esi asimanisi akukola ke ya kuberekera hanu mu.
Approximately 490 cases of gender-based violence have been reported to Bundibujo Police since January 2024, according to Assistant Inspector of Police Kabafum Faith, the in-charge Family and Child Protection Unit.
From January to November this year, we have got almost like 490 cases of domestic violence, and 290 it was still pending, and 200 it is still going on, and we cancelled them, but there is a counseling and guidance. Nebo tonaba counseling because we are visiting them in their villages. Tukugendagayo tubaiko, then tutukubalekereraga tukala tunababerekera tunabagamba mwaikaha, then bwire bukwikaga bonene basa ngwa twakulie tete twastamia around the table.
Vincent Tibesigwa Isimbwa, the Ourganda leader in Bundibujo, says the main intention of taking GBV offenders to police is not to arrest them, but rather to ensure a holistic approach to have them put in order in a bid to create room of instilling a sense of behavior change to them.
It is not our intention to take offenders to police. We always try our level best to make sure that the people are not taken to police. See, as Ourganda, our role is to create peace at home, and it is our first priority to make sure that we exhaust all the avenues of people being at peace at home. So it is not our intention to take people. People who are taken to police, they are people who completely refuse to promote peace at home. Those are the people that are taken to police. But if somebody decides to trade violence for kindness, we welcome him very well, and we appreciate that, as he signs reconciliation form at home that is ready to promote peace at home.
During a GBV radio awareness campaign at the Voice of Bundibujo FM on 23rd December, Adongo Pamela Grace, the Probation and Social Welfare Officer at Bundibujo District Local Government, says the problem is really huge, applauding Ourganda for the collaborative efforts to have the challenge addressed.
Our children they are our future. Now, in the case if we don't handle the issue of protection, as I know, that means we don't have any future. So those sensitizations are going on in the communities, different communities, with support even from other organizations. Sometimes Ourganda takes us out, we go to the community, we talk to the community. And once the community gets one word, out of 100 people, or Sanga maybe 50 have gotten the message. And those 50 will save other 50.
At the police station, Vincent was tasked to explain why he has severely inflicted serious psychological injuries on his long-time wife in front of the children and relatives. According to Franklin Kiza, the Associate Ministry Coordinator, Ourganda Health Outreach, the organization is currently making follow-ups on over 5,000 patients, and most of them women with active cases of hypertension originating from family disagreements.
Active patients kandi abakaniye mbakali okusanga mukali asa na pressure na 28 yeboro ya hansi ya 15 mwebulia mukamarwanga keke kyabaye tokakomaga mubaji omwanga wiki mwe kukoka kikaro kya pressure kukoka nsinanga mibajari akono okusanga geto dikwika abebili nensanju akikumena webulia mbeke so muntu okako mutwaraga kwem kubulia nkeke kebaye usanga main reason to why attack improving kedata kukira kedata kukehiyo ngo eka tasemeyeba.
Like the African saying goes, he who concedes defeat suffers lesser punishment. Vincent requested police to give him a second chance and promised to settle the matter amicably with guidance from Ourganda group. While before police, he further pledged to offer a reasonable portion of cocoa plantation to his wife, on which she could harvest and sort out some daily urgent needs at home. 2 weeks later, Ourganda, together with Sarah Kihombia LOC1 office, organized a village council meeting where Isimbwa and Esther took center stage in highlighting all forms of violence and its effects and how best wife and husband can live in harmony.
Haliye bya mama angu basangiye biri byawe okabyegulira kenda tu family yako habyo baitu haliye bimwaki dimuli yaba mbujunanizibwa mukamaro hanga kutuhaga bisembo by'abantu nobwobo byaye as long as wabyaye manyo byaye mwana obakiano ba ruana ni mwana wawe tuli hamu baba ongu simyo homulikana ngo kuwagambie mamogo mukama namutwete tase masikireta kaliyawe ngo manyako liho mu habana be oyikirije okisime twakisimi mama toseme kusikiri itakali ya muzeyi we ni warugi munsi likukurugo muzeyi ni yakoleki baitu sina kusabaga mama gongo muhaye takere na mutimogo gumwe mama naba yabungiye ole kati ge muntu wakuba responsible akolekya kumanye buntu bwo baitu sina sabaga baba mamogo angu bakolibikani nawe just feel free.
As promised to police, a positively reformed Vincent took the team to his cocoa plantation, guided members on the boundaries of the pledged part of land to be offered to his wife. He signed the agreement for the land as well as the reconciliation form from Ourganda as an indication that he is done with violence.
Mwebale mono abakama abana banje natandikina n'urugendo rune abarugi bondobugyo enubona nenkona kubasima enwe kimankoreye
nikisemu Vicenti kurugo barabone naikiranize kukora mukanje erabaraka kaje kamaka sekake na mongereyo naikembana ya baraka na yasima na ndasima tene mutamije tene mulwaite kalora gesi ala kumukorana wapo nikubala kusima naye asime banje nkote kumubalia sinasimibye na yasime byanje atego kubala wapo mukora ndagano yakataka takana tuli kumongea talo kuenduka.
Thanks to Ourganda gender-based violence campaign that is slowly turning miseries into human flourishing somewhere in Uganda's villages.